It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. And coming right up, we'll see
on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And that result, guys, was a real shocker. It was just about as complete a dominant performance as we've seen them.
And the way they attacked the basket in that game was unreal. I mean, after a while, the defenders seemed to just wave the white flag.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, that's what will happen when a team continues to attack the basket and come away with layups. The defense tends to get demoralized and deflated.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. We've got Chris Bosh, also Rudy Gay out there. Horford is out there with Isaiah Thomas, and it's Simmons in at the 2.
And the thing about LeBron James, he's really done a nice job of reshaping his game over the years. I mean, every veteran goes through losing a little speed and quickness. The great ones compensate by getting stronger and more physically imposing, not to mention also their basketball IQ grows as well, just as has been the case for LeBron.
And here's Seattle. Outside Curry. Outside Griffin. And it's sent back by Horford. We're about 1 minute into the first. To the paint, here's Bosh. That's good. And it's Thomas picking up the assist.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Griffin. And it's sent back by Horford. Thomas kicks to Simmons. And a miss there on the triple.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Got that one up quick.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Well, the quick high release negated any height disadvantage he had right there.
Now here's Horford. He had 13 points in the win against Sacramento.
And how about the job he did rebounding as well, guys? I mean, just a dominant performance on the glass.
No one near Curry as he lets it go. Sinks the three-pointer.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Thomas against Curry. And Thomas, here we go. Griffin with some nice D.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
A rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim. The Hawks were fantastic last season. After the All-Star break, they did slip up a bit, struggled against teams over 500.
Shot's good. Horford's got his first 2 points.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Right side, good.
They've been hot here early, dropping them in left and right.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. We'll see how long they can keep it going.
They lost the last 3 games of the regular season, Clark, and really just limped into the playoffs. Some of it might have just been fatigue.
Yeah, it could have been, and their play at the end of the season did leak into the playoffs, Kevin. I mean, you could see very quickly that they weren't the same team that looked so dominant during the regular season.
Bosh, the screen. Thomas gets a wide open look. It's good from long range.
Right there, we saw Bosh opened up space for the shooter. Well done.
Thomas against Curry. It's Harden with the drive. LeBron right side. A three ball. The shot no good. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. Simmons passes to Thomas. Fires from deep. Another three for Atlanta.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make them pay. And Isaiah Thomas, traded last season from Phoenix over to Boston, seemed to be a matter of fit and not production as to why they moved him.
Big group substitution here for Seattle. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Whiteside. Williams comes in for Blake Griffin. Durant's checked in for LeBron. And Paul's subbed in for Steph Curry. Now here's Durant. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Milwaukee. And that's out of bounds. Seattle will retain possession. Greg, you were talking about Isaiah Thomas. He had no love lost for the Suns in their first meeting. He took them apart, Clark, on the floor. Remember that game? Stared him down as he was hitting shots. Looked at that bench. Man, he had a big chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and you know, most guys that are a little undersized and have battled doubters all their careers bring that kind of edge anyway. You throw in the fact that he was disappointed how the trade unfolded. He was amped up and ready for that return visit.
Harden's shot is good.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Mirotic, the screen. Kicks to Dellavedova. Pulls it up. Offensive rebound. Ariza against Durant. Ariza goes in. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
It could go, and that's not going to go. And now a chance to hear from Chris Bosh about what it meant to him to become an NBA player.
I was obsessed with the NBA.
What a great cut from Chris Bosh. That's the kind of guy you can't help, Greg, but love for his attitude and ability to be, you know, in touch with that kid he once was. I know you played the same way. Chris Bosh is living the dream like you did and loving it.
That's a great point, Kevin. And I think most of the guys in the league feel that same way. I mean, they may not be able to say it or articulate it as smoothly as Chris does,
sure.
but inside every NBA player is a kid who's still thrilled to wear the uniform and play the game they love.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Seattle. Guys?
You know, they're not going to sit back and just take jump shots. It's all about attacking the paint and getting to the rim.
That's who they are. They've been the aggressor early, attacking the hoop and getting into that paint.
This is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second quarter. Mirotic is out there with Hill. Then it's Jefferson. Then it's Matthew Dellavedova. And it's Ariza in at the three. Jordan inside. Ariza covering. Offensive rebound. Here's Williams. Soft touch off the glass.
Just a grinder. Always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass. And that's one of the things he brings to the table.
And Atlanta calls their first timeout of the game.
And guys, you know, last year Marvin Williams signed a big contract, and he did not follow that up with big production. In fact, he tied a career low in terms of his field goal percentage at only 42, and not exactly what the Hornets were expecting from their new stretch four.
Griffin's check in for Seattle. James comes in for Marvin Williams. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
I was able to listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Bosh. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. He also told them that he wants to see multiple passes on every possession. He said that was the key to getting the best shot each time down. So, Kevin, change is already being made on the fly here in the second quarter.
All right, Doris, thanks. For Seattle, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Here's Paul. Wide open look. Looks a big high bounce and goes in. And it's 7 points for Steph Curry.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
Thomas kicks to Bosh. Thomas against Curry. Back to Gay. And it's Seattle with the rebound. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
And it goes back to what's been their strength, really on the interior. From a defensive standpoint, they just defended the rim as well as you could.
Yeah, I thought it was really impressive the way they did it, guys. They were alert, they were active, they were aware, and their reaction to shots was outstanding.
And guys, you hear about how the Hawks are the jokingly referred to as the Spurs of the East. It has to do with their coach, Mike Budenholzer, who's really brought that philosophy here to Atlanta.
Thomas with the ball. He's picked up by James. Thomas goes in. Here's Simmons. That's in there. Simmons. Thomas with the assist. Thomas got his 4th assist in this one.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing them. 4 of the last 5 makes coming from long range.
Some changes for Seattle. Whiteside comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's Harden in for Steph Curry. On for Coach Budenholzer, Greg. He did spend 19 years with the Spurs, so it makes a lot of sense. Clark, he won 4 titles during his time there in San Antonio.
And Kevin, you can really see how he's adapted and brought the motion offense over to this team, and it worked well for the Hawks.
And no question, G.A., Rudy Gay is one of those guys who has always put up great numbers, but in 9 seasons he's been in the league, only 1 playoff. Only 1. Count them, 1. Back in 2012.
Yeah, but what if he were still in Memphis, though, Kevin? I mean, that's one of it. Sometimes it's not always your fault that you're not getting there.
True.
You got to play on a good enough team, and he hasn't up to this point. So, yeah, he's had his moments of inconsistency and will disappear at times. So there's some shared blame there as to why he hasn't been more consistent when it comes to the postseason.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
And it's blocked by Whiteside. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Whiteside. Williams, he's checked in for Blake Griffin.
Hawks ball. Substitution.
They set the screen. Here's Ariza. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Ariza's got it all tied up now for the Hawks.
And, you know, back to Rudy Gay. He's a tremendous all-around talent. Physically, instinctively, skill-wise, he's got it all. Except that consistent winning touch, that remains to be completed.
And the basket by Thomas.
Both teams trading punches back and forth. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
The momentum swings really impossible to keep track of. The energy in the building just keeps going back and forth, ebbing and flowing. I'm loving it. They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
Can't cash in on the 10-foot jumper. 1 second left, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. For Seattle, they have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And you know their performance at the line. It's definitely dropped off. Not the trend they were looking for.
And at the line, it's all about consistency.
And a pretty tightly contested.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. How about you, Kenny? What did you think about this home team?
Well, they're generating points in the paint, which I like to see. Too often teams fall in love with the 3, and the defense is...
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to...
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. One guy who's been getting it done so far, Stephen Curry.
He created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Seattle, Griffin is out there with LeBron James. Then it's Curry. Then it's Harden. And it's Whiteside in at the 5.
Really nice dime dropping there. Playmaking ability is exactly what you get from Isaiah Thomas.
And guys, as much as Isaiah Thomas can help you on offense, at times he can hurt you on the defensive side. Immediately posted up by whomever he's guarding, you have to get help. And, of course, that leaves your defense vulnerable, particularly on the weak side and controlling that defensive backboard.
Bosch drives in. Great open look there. Bosch has got his second bucket of the night.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using his size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master at it. Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
A little over a minute gone here in the second half. To the middle. It's tipped and stolen by Whiteside. Curry kicks to Harden and stolen by Horford. Thomas with the ball. He has 5. And the rejection by Harden. Here's Simmons. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Simmons got 8 points.
And the D is having problems stopping the mid-range jumper. They're not really closing out on them as much as they should be.
6 of their last 10 points have come by way of the 2-pointer.
Nothing but money for them to start the half. They've made all 3 of their shot attempts.
Thomas kicks to Gay. From 15 feet away in Atlanta again with the bucket.
You know, you can give a defender a lot of trouble if you're consistent with that turnaround jumper. It's almost impossible to block.
You look at him physically, and Rudy Gay is the complete package of the small forward spot. Nothing holding him back.
You know, Kevin, he comes in at 6'8", has that solid frame, unbelievable athletic ability with the speed to go with that for a player of his height. He is a true talent.
Durant's checked in for Whiteside. Here's Harden on the wing. From deep. And it's Rudy Gay with the rebound. Gay's got his 5th rebound in this one.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Durant with the steal. And here we go. Harden heading to the hoop.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker. And with Rudy Gay, the physical part of the game has never been a problem with him. As great a physical player as any other small forward in the league, his one drawback is he can get in his own head at times and not play to his strengths.
Thomas goes in, and it's blocked by Curry. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Hawks will retain possession. Paul's checked in for Seattle. Atlanta making a switch here. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Pick up by Hill. Here's Ariza. No good on the triple.
And no doubt a lot of players can get in their own head, like Gay does at times. He does so much on the floor, it is odd when he vanishes for stretches of the game. On pure talent, he has few peers in the league.
Back to Thomas. Left side Bosch. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
Boy, it does your heart good to see that kind of determination in a player. Really excellent focus that time.
And Seattle making a change here. Jordan's checked in. Mirotic is checked in for the Hawks. Paul against Thomas. And Durant sends it back. And pushing it up, here's Seattle. LeBron leading the charge.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Thomas against Paul. Thomas dishes to Ariza. Hill, a screen on James, and looks like the illegal kick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Oh, that's a close call there on the illegal screen.
But I'd go along with it, Greg. I mean, it didn't look like his feet were set to me.
And Seattle making a change here. Williams is checked in. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Richard Jefferson, he's checked in for Isaiah Thomas.
Pretty passing. Timely recognition as to where the open man was.
Paul kicks to Harden. 30 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Durant for three. And a clear foul there as he shot the triple. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws. That one is on Ariza. For Seattle, they have only 1 missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them. And the second free throw, good. The Hawks trail by 7. 19 seconds left to play in the third. Dellavedova, the pass to Hill. Taken away by Williams. To the paint. Here's Harden. Good, and Paul gets the assist. And that's 15 points for James Harden.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
Well, it's been an exciting game. And the final period of play just about to start. Seattle leading by 9. On the court for Atlanta, they've got Matthew Dellavedova. Chris Bosh is out there with Horford. Then it's Trevor Ariza. And it's Simmons in at the shooting guard position. Williams kicks to Harden. Back to Williams. Some nice ball movement here by Seattle. They get it again.
You know, guys, if he does his work early, he knows when he gets in a good position, his size gives him a big edge on the glass.
Dellavedova kicks to Ariza. It's hauled in by Kevin Durant. Seattle calls timeout. One of the most dominant players in 2014 was Kevin Durant, of course, winning the league MVP. Then last year, cut short. We know that he's now on a mission to get back to that level, and Greg, it's hard.
Yeah, you know, it all came down to health for Kevin Durant. And at this point in his career, I mean, he's got the maturity. He's developed the skill set. He's just got to stay on the court. And really, when you talk about the game of basketball, the rest will take care of itself.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Yes, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Seattle's coach as he addressed his basketball team. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
You know, talking about Durant as he looks to recapture the league MVP, he can take a cue from last year's MVP, Stephen Curry. Curry battled through numerous ankle injuries over the years earlier on, only to come out on the other side with his best season ever in 2K15.
Rudy Gay's checked in for Trevor Ariza. Bosh, a screen on Durant. Just 3 to shoot. Tries to hit him. And Durant sends it back. Here's Harden.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. Well, you knew something was amiss with Durant last year. They eventually shut him down for the entire season after he was injured, which was the safe thing to do. And, Greg, the right thing to do.
Absolutely. When you have a franchise player trying to work back from injury, no need to try and get a few more games from him at the risk of derailing his career.
Excellent communication on the inbound play there, guys. He got in a good position, and the pass was as it needed to be, on time and on target.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Mike Budenholzer was discussing with his guys. He said their plan was to run their offense through Gay. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. Gentlemen, some late-game adjustments that could prove crucial in the game's closing moments. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks, Doris. A different look for Seattle. Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Williams. LeBron comes in for DeAndre Jordan. And Steph Curry subbed in for Manu Ginobili.
For Durant, KD did try to return last season, but that foot just wouldn't cooperate, and that's when they had to shut him down.
Here's Thomas, and it's Seattle with the rebound. Durant's got 5 rebounds tonight.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if that's the answer.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing Spurs. Now, Clark, that is just ridiculous.
Absolutely filthy. I don't remember ever seeing a dunk like that in the game. I certainly can't remember the last time I saw it.
I tell you what, fellas, you might not see another one like that one for a while.
And it's time for an injury report. And now we'll send it over to Doris Worth for an update on Chris Paul. Doris?
Yes, guys, Seattle's head athletic trainer gave me an update. He told me that it doesn't look too serious. The season is young, but that is tough news to get at any point in the year. We'll see how well the team comes together in his absence. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris, for the update. We appreciate it, and we really hope for the best as always.
And he's a tough guy. My guess is he'll be back before we know it, and better than ever.
Greg, I sure hope you're right. I mean, there are just so many uncertainties when it comes to dealing with injuries, though. Let's hope for the best.
Gay dishes to Simmons. Here's Horford, and he gets it to go.
Bad time for these defenders to be standing around watching. Not while the ball's in his hands.
And Curry, here we go. And he gets the bucket. Curry's got the lead up to 13 now for Seattle.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
For Atlanta, they've gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. Thomas passes to Horford. That's in there. Thomas with the assist. 8 points for Horford. And 1:01 left in the fourth quarter.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces, as it appears it'll be a nice win here for Seattle.
At every opportunity, they managed to push the ball and keep the up-tempo game going.
And that produced great fruit for them in transition.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
And so this victory tonight will give them the front end of what I believe will be a knockdown, drag-out season series, folks. They win the first of what will be 3 this year against the Hawks.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for James Harden. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
And it's blocked by Whiteside. And here's Seattle. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Harden, no good. And the Hawks with possession here, trailing by 13. Pass to Horford. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, you can't give him that kind of a position in the post.
Oh, without question. I mean, when you get it, when he gets it in that tight and that close, that's easy. Real easy.
Curry. And that falls.
Always a threat, guys. Three-point land that time was seriously expanded in the gym range.
Way beyond the line there. That's just a sweet stroke.
So no problem for Seattle as they get the win. Some good moments throughout this one, but they had the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Stephen Curry. He put his team on his back and carried them as we've seen him do before, but it never gets old. A textbook example of making play after play to lead the... And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal,